If you're trying to figure out how to fit all the things you need to do for your business, your family, and your life into your days, help is here. Yes, it is possible to manage your work from home life and find balance, and that's what we're going to do. Plus, at the end of this video, I'll tell you how you can get your hands on an incredible free resource that you're going to love. So keep watching. Hey Mama, I'm Lauren Golden here with a new episode of Free Mama TV showing moms like you how to start and run a successful freelancing business from home. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I post a new episode of Free Mama TV right here each and every Tuesday. You have a lot on your plate, Mama. You've got kids and they seem to want to be fed multiple times a day. Plus, they keep wearing clothes that you have to wash every so often. Then there's the whole running a business from home thing, which takes up just a little bit of your time each day. And you'd like to think that you have at least a little bit of a social life, even if it is a little distant at times. Your days are full, but you still feel like you're not making time for all the things. Free Mama TV has you covered. Today, I'm going to walk you through the process of building out a work from home schedule that works for you, so that you can end each day feeling accomplished instead of overwhelmed. And here's a question for you before we dive in. Have you ever bought a calendar, either on the wall or a whiteboard or something, and you started using it only to stop using it because it didn't really work for you and your family? Let me know if you're guilty down in the comments below. When you're creating a schedule, you have to start from scratch. Give yourself a clean slate and then fill in the things that are your absolute non-negotiables. This is different for everyone, but examples of some of the things that might be on your non-negotiables could include when you drive your kids to school, or when they need to be logged into Zoom school for attendance, a family breakfast or dinner hour that everyone shows up for, your dedicated time for prayer or meditation or centering yourself, your son's weekly speech therapy appointment, or your daughter's piano lesson, or your standing appointment with your boss. See what I mean? Start by putting in the blocks that you know are going to be in place and that you're going to have to work around. Once you have that in place, you can start looking for the spots where you have the time and ability to slot in the work you need to do. Now, it's really important to consider a couple of things about your own personal situation. If you just wanted a pretty picture of a calendar, you'd go over to Pinterest and find one. You're here right now because you want to build a schedule that actually works for your own family. And that means you'll need to answer a few questions. How old are your kids, for example? And how hands-on do you have to be with them? If you're nursing newborn twins, for example, it's probably not realistic to plan for 3 hours of uninterrupted deep work from 8 to 11 a.m. But if your kids are teens and tweens who are logging into Zoom school each morning, that schedule might work perfectly. If you fall somewhere in between those two extremes, what's realistic? Again, this is different for every family. You might have kids who can only reasonably be expected to give you half an hour of quiet time 3 to 4 times a day. So you'll need to plan for that and slot the bulk of your work into the early morning or evening hours. Or you might find that if you take an hour to let your kids fill up on you early in the day, you can then work quietly from the sofa for as long as 2 hours. Work within the bounds of your current reality and remember that things can and do change. Next question, how much work do you need to fit into your week? Think about how many clients you're currently serving. What do you do for each one? And about how long does that take you? If you currently have one social media client and you're drafting and scheduling posts for about 2 hours a week, then you don't need to give yourself 15 hours of work time, right? On the flip side, if you're currently working with 4 clients and the work you do for each one takes about 4 hours a week, you want to be sure you're scheduling in enough work blocks to get everything done without making yourself crazy. And finally, what time do you absolutely know you can count on for doing your work? Like, when is someone else responsible for feeding and washing your small humans? Do you have a spouse or partner who can take on that responsibility for a set number of hours a week? Can you get a sitter at set hours or pair up with another mom so that you each have dedicated work time? Get those times marked on your calendar so that you know you'll be able to deliver on your commitments. Now, once that is done, think about your other responsibilities. Dinner doesn't just magically appear on the table, at least not at my house, unfortunately. And sadly, I have never seen a real live laundry fairy. So I schedule in time to get those things done too. And I recommend that you do the same. Finally, it's not a bad idea to schedule in some of your downtime. I know that might sound a little bit weird, but it definitely helps me to know that I have blocks on my calendar where I don't have to do anything. I can lie on my couch and stare at the ceiling while my children. Oh, wait, that's probably a bad idea. But you know what I mean? I could read a book, binge The Bachelor, play Candyland, or whatever I want. It's usually Candyland, which is not what I really want to do, but you know how that goes. So now that you know some of the things you need to think about when you build your schedule, let me go ahead and show you my own calendar setup. As you can see, I use different colors to represent different parts of my life. I use yellow for our personal family stuff. We're actually selling our house right now, so we have quite a bit of showings that have disrupted our schedule, but you can see that I block them in to make sure they're not interrupting any of my non-negotiables. I make my work time in purple. All of my meetings are in this light blue, and anytime I really have to be on and speak, I'm in these green boxes. By having it color coordinated and using a tool like Google Calendar, I'm able to quickly see at a glance what my work from home mom schedule is going to look like on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Now, personally, I use one calendar that reflects my entire life. So I have personal and business on here. And you can see I fit in all of my personal stuff in yellow as well, like going to the gym, visiting with my friends at mom's group, and making sure that I'm taking time for myself so that I continue to have energy to pour into my family and my business. Now, one last thing you might notice is that typically my day starts around noon, and that's because in a COVID world, we have decided to actually homeschool our children, and that is something that we do in the first half of the day. And then from noon to about 4:35 is when I allow time to work on my business, meet with clients, and make sure that I'm tapping into the professional side of my life, so to speak. So one final reminder that things really do change. A year ago, we didn't homeschool, and my schedule looked completely different. Plus, we're moving soon, as you saw, and I'm certain that my schedule will change again after that. Kids grow and change, and that means your schedule will too. Global pandemics are unfortunately a thing. Maybe you're leaving a 9-to-5 or taking on a new client. It's a good idea to get into that habit of checking in with yourself and reassessing your schedule every so often. Now, if you'd like to get your hands on a very cool schedule template we've designed for you, you'll find the link to my Instagram below this video. Follow me over there, send me a DM to request the template, and I'll get you a copy right away so that you can start building out your very own schedule inside Google Calendar and stop the overwhelm in your life. Also, if you want to join a community of mamas just like you, I have a Facebook group where thousands of mamas come together for support and action-taking tips and motivation. Now, if you liked this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe, and share it with your fellow mamas, and comment below with hashtag I am a free mama if you're ready to set up a work from home schedule that actually works for you. We are out of practice with YouTube. Okay. I don't want to make building a work and then the kids have time and we're struggling. Or you might find that if you take an hour to let your kids fill up, on you earlier in the day, or you might find that if you, oh my gosh, have no fear. I just recurred. Well, we're just gonna go for it. I have to actually do that now.